To make a table in APA format, first you need to put down the table number. So in this instance, this will be table 1. And you need to also bold the table number like this. And under that, you want to put the table title. And in this instance, for this example, the table title is County Services Accessibility Example. Now, the table title needs to be in italics and needs to be title case, which means that the important words need to be capitalized. Before we move on to actually insert our table, you need to highlight the table number and the table title and make sure that they are double spaced, because the rest of your paper is double spaced. This is in keeping with the rest of your paper formatting, needs to be double spaced. Now to insert the table, you go to the insert header, click on the table arrow, and you can either select your table dimensions by hovering over these squares like this, or you can go to insert table and just specify the number of columns and rows that you want. So I'm going to make a table that is 5 by 7, so 5 columns by 7 rows. And so it would end up looking like this before I put any data in. So earlier, to demonstrate this, I actually did enter in data into my 5 by 7 table. So this is what it looks like if I were to enter in the data into that 5 by 7 table, and we'll work from here. So this right now is a little bit tough to read because alignment is off on the cells and the cells are all different sizes. Just isn't that easy to read, isn't very clean. The way to fix this is you click right here at the top left, so you've highlighted the whole table. You go up here to the Layout tab. Click on the Layout tab, you go to Cell Size. Now here in Cell Size, you can see that you can specify the height and the width for all the cells in your table. So I can make the height bigger for all of them. I can make the width bigger for all of them. I'm going to keep the width at 1.3 and I'm going to make the height 0.4. So now, as you can see, the cell sizes are all the same. But now the alignment is a little bit off for each of these cells. It's a little bit tough to see what goes where. It's a little bit tough to read. So what you want to do is you want to, again, click on the entire table. Right next to the cell size box where we just were, you go to the alignment box and you click on Align Center, like that. Now, everything is aligned center within the cell, both horizontally and vertically. One thing to note is in this leftmost column, so this entire column is called the stub column. In this leftmost column, you have your labels of variables. So here you have the title, but here's the labels of the variables. See, these are the labels of the variables and the names of the rows. These need to be aligned left center. So you go and you click on it like that. Leave everything else to be center aligned. These need to be aligned left center. And now everything will be aligned the way it needs to be. So the spacing and alignment looks better, but we need to fix the column titles. For example, here the mean and the standard deviation refer to Los Angeles County data, but Los Angeles County title is only over the mean column. And same thing with Orange County. The mean and standard deviation data, both for Orange County, but the Orange County title is only over the mean column. So how do you fix this? You make a column spanner, which basically means that you have a title that spans more than one column. So you highlight the Los Angeles County cell and the cell next to it with the standard deviation, and then you hit merge cells in layout like that. You do the same thing for Orange County. You hit merge cells. And now, as you can see, the mean and standard deviation data are both under Los Angeles County, those columns, and the mean and standard deviation data here are both under Orange County. So now we know where the data corresponds and it's much clearer. Now that everything is aligned and spaced, you should start adjusting the table borders. APA formatting doesn't have a lot of vertical borders and doesn't have many horizontal borders. So usually to put in the borders, the best way to do it is to remove all the borders and then put borders back in as you need them. So click on the table again. Now go to table design and go to borders and select no borders. Now, as you can see, there are no borders. There are 3 places that you want borders in your tables generally. Top and bottom borders of the whole table, beneath the column spanner, and above the column where the data points start. So I'll show you what that looks like. You highlight this whole thing and you want to do top and bottom border. So top border and bottom border. So that is the top and bottom border of the table. Now the bottom border of the spanner, you highlight the spanner columns right here and you go again to borders and you do bottom spanner right there. And now the top of the columns, you would highlight this whole thing, go to borders and put top border like that. So this is the formatting for a table in APA. One more thing that you may need with your table is a note at the bottom. And a note is generally just if people need more information to be able to interpret or understand your table correctly. There are 3 types of notes: general, specific, and probability notes, and they each have their own formatting guidelines depending on what you need. Just for the purposes of this example, I'm just going to show general notes. So if I want to write a general note, you write note like this, note with a period, you put it in italics. And then after that, you say whatever the general note is. So I will just say general note goes here. Now the spacing here, you want to make sure that, again, you have some space between this note and the table. So you highlight the note right here, on the home screen, go to paragraph, click the arrow here and put add space before paragraph. And now you have spacing between the note and the table.